All right, hey y'all, welcome back. All right, had some technical difficulties with the computer, so I had to switch over. But welcome to Mammography Mondays featuring the Certified Tittologist. That's me. And today the video is, Mammography Mondays is dedicated to a young lady that was curious about just the medical field in general, but backstory is I had a patient come in and she wanted her daughter to watch what I was doing, basically to see how mammography is. But unfortunately, we are not allowed to have anybody in the room because of radiation protocols. So, I told her a little bit about it and everything like that, but I wanted to get on because maybe she was not the only person or only young person wondering how this all works, wondering how we get into this field and everything like that. So I wanted to come on and dedicate this video to for Mammography Mondays to her, and hopefully to other people that will look into how to get into the radiology program and so forth and so forth. So with that being said, as most of you know, I am a mammography technologist. I went to Wake Tech Community College to do my program, and I graduated. So it's kind of complicated. So I graduated the radiology program May of 2020. Then I graduated the mammography program December of 2020. So I started working in mammography before I graduated. And it is a high demand in the field right now. So it's not saturated at all. But I wanted to come on to say how this whole program works is you go to a community college, or some universities offer a radiography program under the bachelor's degree. Either or is fine. I chose the community college route because it was faster and it was cheaper. But what I had to do is I had to quit my full-time job as a phlebotomist. I was working full-time at UNC, and then I was working part-time at Duke. So I was working 7 days a week. And I had to quit my full-time job at UNC in order to pursue my radiology program, because it is a full-time program. The program is 21 months, okay? And for Wake Tech, it starts in the fall or it starts in the spring semester. So you either in the fall semester, you are starting August to May, and then in the spring semester, you are starting January to next January, I believe. I will have to look that up again because I started in the fall semester. So I was graduating in May of 2020. I started August of 2018 and I graduated in May of 2020. Excuse me. As some of you know, I got into radiology because I was looking for something outside of nursing, because I know I didn't want to be a nurse, because my whole aspect as a nurse, or me being a nurse, was I didn't want to take my work home with me. Because I'm very compassionate and I get very attached to people easily. So I didn't want to take my work home with me. Excuse me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So, I didn't want to be a nurse. So I was looking for another career field that would supplement my income of me working 7 days a week. At the time I did have, or I still have 2 children, but at the time they were younger than what they are now. So that was something else that I had to have in play as well. So with Wake Tech, I did start there, and I did take out a student loan, but the student loan was solely to supplement my income that I was missing from my full-time job. Now, in the radiology program, we go through patient care, we go through positioning, we go through the bones and the joints and all of that stuff, because as a radiology tech, you are taking pictures of people, bones, basically taking the x-ray of their body, basically. So we got a foot x-ray, or a forearm x-ray, or a sinus x-ray, or the mandible x-ray, which is TMJs and all of this other stuff. So we learn about all of this from head to toe. We learn about the body. So with that being said, you do have to take anatomy and physiology, and most programs are competitive. I just went on the website, the WaitTech website today, to see if they changed anything, because I know it's been a little while since I've been there. But they did change a few things around. I do like how they got on the website now that it doesn't say degree program, it says career field, and I really love the aspect of the of their site now. But then when you scroll down to health sciences, you'll see the radiography program and all of that stuff. So within the radiography program, you still have to take that TEAS test in order to be entered into the radiography program. Now, yes, there are alternate lists, like meaning you're on the wait list to get in if you didn't get in the first time. However, like I explained to the young lady, because the programs are so competitive, it is necessary, and I say necessary because I just feel like it's necessary to make straight A's and B's during your prereqs. So when you take English, and when you take ethics, and when you take your psychology and your maths and all of this stuff, try your best, and anatomy and physiology, try your best to make straight A's if you can. If not straight A's and B's. I did, and again, I looked on their website today. They did change the TEAS test. They are now giving points based on how you scored. When I did go, it was either pass or fail there on the TEAS test. So the TEAS test is basically like a standardized testing to give you points to get into the program. So again, when I was going to the program, it was pass or fail. So you either failed the TEAS test and you didn't get no points, but you could still apply to the radiography program, or you pass the TEAS test within a certain amount of points, and then you automatically get 25 points applied to your points from your academic scores. That's how it worked in the past. So they did change that, and I think that's great that they changed it, because everybody are not good testers, but I'm glad they changed it. So to backtrack, within the radiography program, again, we do patient care, we do radiation safety, we do radiation protection, we do physics, because we have to learn the ins and outs of the machine, and basically how the x-ray forms, or how the x-ray beam forms, and all of this stuff. It was I'm not going to say it was very difficult, but it is very hard to learn new things when you have not been in those fields before. So luckily, I feel like WaitTech really do prepare you to prepare you to take the exam at the end. So the exam that I'm referring to, that's about the end, that exam is the ART registry. So we have to take an exam. The ART is American Registry of Radiologic Technologists. We have to take that exam in order to be licensed in the state of North Carolina. I say licensed in the state of North Carolina because North Carolina is not a licensure state. So you don't have to have a state license to perform x-rays in North Carolina. However, most companies will not hire you without your ART registry, meaning that you went through an accredited program, you did what you're supposed to do, you passed that, and then you went to take the ART exam and you passed that. So we have that, and then we also have our CEUs that we have to keep up with, and that is every 3 years, I believe. I keep up my CEUs, but it's 24 credits that we have to have every 3 years. And then we have bienniums, that's every year, and all of this other stuff that we got to keep up with. But just to help out the young lady again, so radiology is taking an x-ray of your body parts, right? So you have the chest x-ray, the foot x-ray. If you go in and all this stuff, the doctor order x-rays on whatever, right? That's what x-ray techs do. That's what we are, okay? That's the basis of the program. So, and I say basis because, again, we specialize in other fields. And that's one thing that I really wanted to get out there and really wanted her to understand and other people to understand, that you don't have to just be in radiology. You don't have to just take x-rays, but you can venture out into other fields. Now, within the program, clinicals start first semester. So first semester you're in clinicals. So again, that's why it's no 9 to 5 working 9 to 5 and then still doing your x-ray program. For me, it was no way. So that's what that is. So you start clinicals first semester, and you in clinicals all the way into your 5th semester. So, but within those clinicals, you do get to rotate through other modalities and see what you like, see what you don't like, and all of this stuff. So when I was in school, I did rotate through the cath lab. I rotated through IR, interventional radiology. I rotated through CT. I rotated through MRI. I already knew I didn't want to do ultrasound because I already knew that ultrasound comes more with just scanning babies. You have, women lose their children. It's more than just OB. Okay, ultrasound is more than just OB, and a lot of people go into ultrasound thinking they're just going to be scanning babies all day, and that's not what it is. Okay, you got to do vaginal ultrasounds, internal vaginal ultrasounds. You got to do abdomen ultrasounds, of course, when listening for the baby's heartbeat and all this other stuff. I don't know a lot about ultrasounds, but I do work in the OB clinic, so, and I'm with the ultrasound team, so I'll learn a little bit. But I knew I didn't want to do ultrasound. So the dean at the time, the program director at the time, she came into the class and she was like, hey, welcome to the radiology program, but what should I pass, basically? And mine was, I wasn't going to stay in x-ray. I knew I wasn't going to stay in x-ray, but I wanted to do, get my desk. I was like, I'm going to do CT and then I'm going to retire in mammo. That was my path. That was my plan. Before I even rotated through CT, that was my plan because I knew I just wanted to do CT, right? And no, that fell out the way. So when I rotated through CT, it was not for me, okay? I felt like CT was a factory, meaning you are scanning a patient and then you move them out, you scan the next patient, you move them out, you scan. It was no compassion, it was no sympathy, it was just blah. And you're dealing with sick patients, but it was still no compassion because you didn't get time to have a connection with that patient. You didn't get time to learn that patient or anything like that. And then some of these patients coming with tubes everywhere, and it was just heartbreaking to see. And I just needed to be out of that realm altogether because prior to, I was a phlebotomist and I was inpatient phlebotomy for 9 years. Well, part of my career, most of my career was inpatient phlebotomy. So that's me knocking on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning and asking you if you want your blood drawn. Or my part-time job was from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Duke. And I was working there, and then sometimes I work overnights and all of that stuff just to make up some income while I was in school. But again, that is taxing on the mental health, on the body, period, because you got to work all these hours to supplement your income, number one. But number two is I've been in this field. I was even at Duke when COVID hit. So then I saw a lot of policies change. So it was a lot of policies that changed as far as contact precautions go that I did not really agree with. Because I'm like, wait, because beforehand this room was contact, now all of a sudden it's not contact because we need the spare this stuff for COVID contact rooms and all. And it was just a very uncomfortable situation. And people that works in the medical field and works in hospitals, they will know what I'm talking about. And I know I'm all over the place because my brain be going all over the place, but that's what it is. Um, so to go back, so in radiology, you don't have to just stay in X-ray. So you can go X-ray is your basis, and then you can go to CT, you can go to MRI, you can go to mammo or mammography, you can go to nuke med, you can go to ultrasound, you can go to cath lab or IR. So X-ray is not your only, like, it's not your stopping point. X-ray is the basis. So we are X-ray technologists, we're radiologic technologists, and then we specialize in these fields. And some people have more than one modality behind, or one specialized field behind them. So they have radiology, mammo, nuke med, CT, MR, all of this other stuff. That's too much money for me, y'all. Because what y'all don't know is we have to pay for each license. So we have to pay for X-ray. We have to pay for every specialized license that we get. And then, like me, because I do travel, I have to pay for state license as well. So I am licensed in the state of Florida, which I had to pay for. I'm licensed. Georgia is not a licensure state, just like North Carolina is in licensure state. So I didn't have to pay for them. But I had to pay for Nevada, and I had to pay for Maryland. And I am going to get licensed in more states, but just not right now. Because again, that's money that we got to pay out, and that's money that we got to keep paying in order to maintain our license as well. So that's one thing. But for mammo, I can speak on mammo because again, I thought I was going to retire mammo. That's what I thought I was going to do. My whole plan was to retire mammo, and God was like, got something different for you because CT is not where it's at. So that's how I ended up going straight into mammo instead of just having it as my retirement field. And when I got into mammo, so when I went to Wake Tech, we were not allowed to rotate through mammo. So we were not allowed to rotate through mammo because the men could not rotate through mammo when I was going to Wake Tech. So that was, I was going into mammo blind. I didn't know a thing about mammo. I didn't know positioning, none of that stuff. I didn't know how taxing it is on the body and on the mind. And it's mentally taxing on the mind. People are like, oh, you just squeeze boobs all day. You got an easy job. You play with boobs all day. That is not what I do. I save people's lives, number one, because my job is to take adequate and high quality pictures to make sure that we're getting all of your breast tissue, to make sure that we can see everything, to make sure that we can show our radiologists so they can read everything dealing with your breast x-ray. So if you do have cancer, if you do have something that's abnormal in your breast, that we can catch that early. The point of mammograms is not to prevent breast cancer, but to catch it early enough where you have a higher chance of living. And the radiation or the chemo or the whatever medications you got to go through can give you a better chance of living. So that's the point of our job. Our job is not to torture you. Our job, and we don't want to torture you. If you feel like you're being tortured in your mammo, then I am sorry for that experience that you're having, but that is not what we are intending to do. And it is taxing on the mind because it is 25 patients, 30 patients, back to back to back that we are doing every single day. And we have to deal, I don't know if y'all believe in like energies and all of this stuff, but all of these energies get transferred to us. So you're dealing with 25, 30 patients back to back to back to back. That can be taxing on the mind, especially when some people don't want to cooperate with you, or there are some people out there that looks at me, and I can only speak on this because I experienced it, but looks at me as like I don't belong here. There's still, because again, we are dealing with the older population. So there are still some people out there that has mindset that blacks don't belong, colored people don't belong, all of this stuff. So that's something that, as a Black woman and being a mammotech and being just a Black woman in the imaging field, that's something that we have to deal with. But I am very qualified to do my job, and I am very passionate about what I do. I love doing my job. And so when you go through the mammo program, we have to do 25 supervised mammogram exams first before we can even do anything else. So, and that is an MQSA requirement. And if you all don't know, mammo is the only imaging field that is FDA regulated. The only imaging field that's FDA regulated. So just keep that in mind when y'all are coming to us and complaining and all of this other stuff. Yeah, we are more than qualified, because we have to go through a lot more credentialing, and we have to go through a lot more accreditation than these other imaging fields. But we have to do the 25 supervised MQSA exams, and that is a seasoned tech watching us newbies perform the mammogram, and then they're critiquing us on what we can do better, what we did good, and all of this stuff. So we got to get 25 of those. And I do have this is how weight tech sheets look. I laminated because I want to keep it forever, because this is a huge accomplishment. But this is the 25 MQSA requirements that have to be done, and you cannot touch a patient. If you don't have this done by the time you graduate, you cannot touch a patient. So that's that. And then with weight tech, we also had to do 75 unsupervised exams. But of course, with it being as long as a program it is, you get more than 75. So these are also patients that I had to position and all of this stuff. So this is something that if you're new to the mammo world, you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to position patients. You're going to have to touch patients. You're going to have to have a personality for this. A lot of my patients, most of my patients do love me because I am a jokester. So I make light of almost every situation. So, and I try to keep them as calm as possible. And again, these are just more exams, but we also have to do specialized exams. We have to see them. And then we also have to watch the radiologist read exams. So we have to watch the radiologist read 10 exams. So we'll know exactly what they're looking for, how they're trained, not necessarily how they're trained, but what they're looking for, and giving us critique on this will be appropriate, this won't be appropriate. And then just watching them do their job is just amazing in itself. Because I could not imagine being a radiologist and having somebody's life in my hand, because that's essentially what it is. Because your radiologist is the one that determines if you're going to get called back, or if you're going to be cleared for another year, or they're the ones that detect your cancer and then they just saved your life. So, and some cancers do get missed, unfortunately, but I cannot imagine being a radiologist and having somebody's life in my hand like that, especially because if y'all see my previous video, y'all know how x-rays look. But literally, this is what the radiologist is reading. Okay, so this is the pectoral muscle, this is the nipple in profile, this is the IMF, this is your density or your glandular tissue that everyone likes to talk about, saying that I have density, I have dense tissue. This is literally what this would be. The density in the tissue is saying, the density in the tissue is not a diagnosis. It is the appearance of your breasts on an x-ray. So how do your breasts look on an x-ray, and how well can we see through your breasts on an x-ray? So that's the density, and that is 4 categories. But again, this is everything that you will learn on field, like in-house, or you will learn in school, or vice versa, and together in general, because you don't learn everything in school. We all know that you don't learn everything in school. You have to get your hands dirty and learn some stuff sometimes, okay? And then we also go through QC. So we have to do QC on a weekly basis on our machine to make sure that our machine is doing what it's supposed to do. And that's doing the, Lord, I done lost it on the tip of my tongue now. We do QC every week. But that's doing the phantom imaging to make sure that we see make sure that the machine is seeing what's supposed to be seen in the phantom. We are doing visual checklists. We are doing compressions. We're doing compression quality control and all this other stuff, all this other quality control that you will learn when you start your program. And again, sorry I'm all over the place, but again, that's the way my brain works. I'm literally a step A, step B, step C person. So I planned this, but I really wanted to get this out for the young lady that was curious about the field and all of this stuff. But it also just come on here because it is Mammography Mondays. And just give a little bit of background and all of this stuff. So there are other schools outside of Wake Tech, of course. I think when I Googled it, it was like 412 schools in the United States that offers the radiography program. But then again, you will specialize in what other fields. The only school that was JCERT accredited, that's a university in North Carolina, was UNC Chapel Hill, that offers the bachelor's degree for radiography. Again, their program is a little bit different. I cannot speak on it. I have ran into some of their students when I was on my clinical rotations at Wake Med. So I have ran into some of their students. Again, when I was doing the cath lab rotation, I ran into some of UNC students. So I can't speak on their program. I do know that they offer that bachelor's degree program. It is expensive because it's something per year. And their program is 48 months compared to the community college programs being 21 months. So that's something to think about too, how fast you want to get into the work field. And then unfortunately, I cannot speak on my pay because I do have coworkers up here on Facebook that are my friends, and we're not allowed to speak on pay or anything like that. But however, if you DM me, then I can tell you, but I cannot tell you publicly how much I make or how much I started out with. I do feel really blessed that I started in the field that I started in, as far as the company, the full-time company that I work for. And yes, they pay me enough that on a normal cost of living lifestyle, it would be enough. But as y'all are living this with me, y'all understand that we need 2 jobs, a side hustle, and something else just to maintain ends meet. So that is still why I work 2 jobs. Now, my second job is a PRN, so I can work, my requirements to work once every 6 weeks or once every 8 weeks or something like that. But I work more than that, so I don't keep up with that because, again, I need the money. Because I got bills on top of bills like everybody else, of course, but I got bills on top of bills. So, yeah. So, unfortunately, y'all, I cannot tell y'all how much I exactly make right now or how much I started out with. But it is a comfortable living. And again, I work 2 jobs because I want to at this point, and because of the cost of living. And I just bought my house in November, so now that's another tack on top of that. And it's just me, so I pay all of this. So, and y'all know, if y'all single, and y'all the only ones paying y'all bills, then y'all already know what it is. So I ain't got to go into detail about that. But with that being said, I hope that, and I know again it was all over the place, but I hope that somebody finds a career field out of this, or at least curiosity to research the field and to see if they would like it or not. But hopefully I was not too all over the place for the young lady, that hopefully she sees this, because I did talk to her in office as well. But hopefully she sees this and other people will see this and be like, oh, I want to do that, or I want to look into that or look into this, because again, radiology is not the stopping point, and mammo is not the stopping point if you don't want to just do mammo. There are plenty of clinicals out there that hires multimodality techs, meaning that you are specialized in more than just x-ray and one other modality. So you specialize in x-ray, mammo, CT, bone density. Bone density is really not a specialization, but you do got to, some facilities require you to take a test for your bone density, for you to even perform bone density, but some facilities just to train you on site for that. CT, MRI, I think I said all of that stuff, but again, ultrasound is a avenue that you could take. Oh, radiation therapy is another avenue that you could take once you finish your radiography program also. So I know nuke med and ultrasound, you do not have to take radiography first. You can, but that's those two programs that I know of, you don't have to take radiography first in order to get into those programs. You apply and then it's a 2-year program. But I do know at Pitt Community College, like since I am licensed to do x-rays and I have my associate's degree for radiography, I can just go to nuke med and do the 1-year program. So they have a 1-year program where you receive a diploma for nuke med because you already have your associate's degree, or you can do your associate's degree in itself without having to do the radiography program. So I do know that's at Pitt Community College because I did look in that a while back. But yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking to apply to other schools for the radiography program, Caldwell Community College, I'm not sure if they still do it, but Caldwell Community College out in the mountains somewhere, they were a first come first serve program. So whoever signed up first got in. Your grades still had to be good, but whoever got, like, if you met all the requirements and you applied first, it wasn't really competitive. But it was a first come first serve basis. Now all the other community colleges that I know of, like JCC and Wake Tech and the community college out in Charlotte, because like I said, I was looking, y'all, I was willing to move to get into this program. Luckily I did get in the first time at Wake Tech because I was gonna be devastated if I didn't, because I'm just like, Lord Jesus, what am I gonna do? But other community colleges are very competitive, and it is getting more competitive because it is like people are retiring out of the imaging field. So it's that retirement wave that's going. So new techs are coming in and all of this stuff. So like I said, it's not saturated right now, because every career has that where they are saturated, and then we have a wave where we're hiring, and then a wave where we're not hiring. Right now, mammo, x-ray, CT, MRI, all of that, all imaging fields are hiring, y'all. So again, if y'all want to know how much I make, y'all could just DM me and I will tell y'all like a starting price and all of this stuff. But again, I am lucky to be with my full-time company, because normally they do not hire new grads, and I was a new grad when they hired me. So normally they don't hire new grads, because my full-time company that I work for, they are a very independent company. So you have to know what you're doing, and you have to know, you have to just know your stuff. And I was fortunate enough to convince my boss to hire me, and with the help of the recruiter, because I was begging that recruiter, y'all, like, please, y'all will not be disappointed, because I know my work ethic. And I know my work ethic is the bomb. Like, you can't get nobody to work better than me. And I'm not using that as a flex or anything like that, because I do know that some companies do not care two craps about you. Like, they will replace you the moment your body hit the ground. Like, I do know that, but it's not in my blood, y'all, to just be a lazy worker or just not help people, because I genuinely love helping people too. So, and I genuinely love just being that team worker, not to be a butt kisser or anything like that, because they will tell you I'm nobody's butt kisser, but I do like working in general, and my work ethic is just top tier. But that's me being raised by a strong woman as well. And so it's kind of instilled in me that you got to work for what you want. And I want a type of lifestyle that I'm willing to work for. So that's that. But again, if y'all do have any questions about how to get started on a program, what exactly in detail does the program go into, I still have some of my books and stuff like that, or I can see if I can reach out to some of the professors that's at the community colleges to see if they can come on and talk to y'all, because it's a demand. It's a demand for the field, and we do get paid well. So yeah, if y'all have any questions for me or have any questions, I'll try to get a professor up here to join me to see if they can talk about it more, because that's what they teach. And I will see if I can get some supervisors up here too. We'll see about that. I don't know, but we'll see. I got a lot of ideas for Tittology Enterprises. And the most top tier one that I want to do is the Tittology Healthy Breast Initiative. And again, that's a financial assistance program to help people that either don't have insurance, or their insurance don't cover 3D mammography, or their insurance is just crap. I want to help these people obtain a better exam for their breast health. So that is coming soon. Again, I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming, y'all. I will be able, my goal, and I'll put it on my vision board, my goal is to be able to pay for 1,000 exams a year. That is my goal. So when I get it, or when I reach that goal, y'all are going to see me all over this internet, because I will be celebrating that when I can help 1,000 people, men and women, obtain these 3D mammography exams, because that's truly what's needed right now. So yeah, but again, I am going to end this live, y'all, so I can get ready for work tomorrow. But again, if y'all have any questions and anything that y'all want to know about me, or about the program, or about the company, or how it is to work in the field, because I'm an open book for the most part, just reach out to me, DM me, email me at support@tittologyenterprises.com or tittologyenterprises@gmail.com. I have both. Y'all can reach out to me and ask me any questions that y'all would like. But yeah, before we end this live, I just want to show y'all that these are all of the certificates and everything that you will get when you finish your schooling. So this is my associate's degree from Wake Tech, and then this is my radiology my art certification, or art license for radiography. And then I have my certificates for Wake Tech for my mammo program, because the mammo program is, you have to do 8 hours of digital training. You have to do 8 hours of digital training, or 8 hours of MQSA. Yep, DBT. Sorry. You gotta do 8 hours of 3D training, right? And then you gotta do your 16 hours of educational training, which is your didactic courses, which is your in-class courses, right? And then this one is the 40 hours. So I got 40 hours of my initial mammography training. So all of this is required before you even start work, by the way. So, and the job do ask for this. The job asks for all of this and more. And then this is my art certification for mammo, saying that I passed the art exam and qualified to work. And then again, my radiography, but this comes before my mammo, because I specialized. Again, mammo is a specialized field, so you got to go through radiography first, and then you got to go through mammo. But again, all of this stuff is required. I don't remember exactly how much the program in itself cost, because again, I took out a student loan so I can cover my bills and my children while I was going to school full time. So I can't tell you exactly how much it costs, but I'm pretty sure you can look on the websites and get an estimate, because it's not going to be true to the T, but you can get an estimate. But I appreciate y'all watching Mammography Mondays today. To the young lady that I met, I hope you find this to be beneficial to you, to be educational to you, and to anyone else out there that's looking for a career change, because it can happen. I have women in their 40s and 50s in my class that is career changing. So it's never too late. So I hope y'all find this beneficial, find this educational. And don't forget to check out TittologyEnterprises.com for all your mammogram awareness needs. And I hope y'all have an amazing week.